your way back over here.
After Plants vs. Zombies' original launch in 2009 as a tower defense title on mobile platforms, PopCap Games realized that they had created a popular and sustainable franchise. Fortunately, they somehow decided to expand the franchise into the realm of third-person shooters with Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare for Xbox systems and PC. While it may seem like a quick cash grab on a popular IP, Garden Warfare manages to succeed in bringing a fresh new experience to the crowded multiplayer shooter franchise Battleground. It doesn't take long to see the immediate differences in Garden Warfare that separate it from many of today's muddy-colored modern shooters. The environment and characters are saturated in color and soul that's seldom seen anymore. Everything from its quirky music, charmingly emoting characters, and wonderfully detailed worlds are saturated in personality. Garden Warfare is a breath of fresh air with intelligent and original gameplay mechanics to boot. In total, there are currently 4 major game types, with a few variants of them mixed in, such as classic modes which disable character leveling and upgrades. Garden Ops is a horde mode variant where a team of plants must defend against a large zombie invasion, with occasional boss waves thrown in by fortifying a point on each map with a greenhouse worth of potted plants and weaponry. The harder difficulties can provide a more than ample challenge and provide a nice change in pace from the rest of the competitive multiplayer game types. Team Vanquish is a class-based standard team deathmatch variant where the first team to 50 points wins. Gnome Bomb involves 2 teams competing over control of an explosive garden ornament and detonating it at various points of the map. You'll probably be spending most of your time on the Gardens and Graveyards playlist, as it's by far the most unique and complicated of the bunch and certainly the most replayable. These matches are hosted on large maps unique to the playlist, that are each sectioned off into several areas, calling for the plants to defend each point from the impending zombie horde. Each section feels unique and well balanced, with different strategies and exploitation of the environment such as elevation to gain advantage. Each stage culminates into a final unique event that switches up gameplay dramatically, bringing a satisfying conclusion to a successful zombie advance. PopCap implemented a heavy class-based system with the plants and zombies supporting 4 unique classes, each greatly increasing replay value and team coordination. The feel-good Flora are composed of the highly maneuverable and deadly pea shooter with his explosive bean bomb and zombie mowing Gatling turret ability. In addition, there's also the jubilant Sunflower with her healing ability, standard rapid fire, and flesh-melting solar beam ray. Next is the Chomper with his devastating close-range potential, proclivity to subterranean ambushes, and crippling goop. Last but not least for the plants is the tactical Cactus, and her aptitude towards long-range combat, defensive barriers, mine-laying, and flying onions that rain down death from the sky. On the other side, the Unshakable Undead have recruited the Foot Soldier zombie with his assault rifle concealing stink grenades, rocket jump, and game-changing ZPG rocket launcher. Joining him is the Engineer zombie with his chopper-stopping shock grenades, the Zombot drones and turrets, a powerful main weapon, and a tendency to get around quickly on his jackhammer. The brains of the bunch is the Scientist zombie with his powerful shotgun, mini grenades, warping ability, and healing stations, and finally the Unstoppable All-Star zombie, a heavily armored monster that can charge through any defense, kick explosive minions towards unsuspecting plants, and erect barriers when not suppressing groups of enemies with his sport-themed arsenal. In the same vein as Battlefield 4, both teams also have a boss class that can heavily influence the battle through supporting their team from an overhead view with artillery strikes, mass resurrections, radar, and healing so long as their ship isn't shot down by opposing forces. Each class forces the player to change up their strategies between them as their role on the team has completely changed. In addition to that, every class has an unlockable alternate version of each of their abilities, and 6 additional subclasses for each one that can significantly change certain aspects of the character, effectively making 56 playable characters. There are also over 1,000 customization options available to change the appearance of the characters and weapons. All of these can be unlocked via Garden Warfare's rather unique leveling and upgrading system. The core levels are obtained through completing a series of challenges that progressively get more difficult with each class that range from having to kill certain classes a certain way to getting set amounts of kill streaks or revives in a match. These challenges force you to change your tactics and playstyle frequently, and constantly give you sub-goals in addition to winning matches. Upon completion, you're rewarded with a higher level for that class, up to 30, and a free package of cards and occasional money at certain milestones. The aforementioned cards can also be bought with coins earned at the end of each round, and allow you to buy one of several packs of random cards that unlock new characters, upgrades, customization options, skins, gestures, or consumables. This creates a very rewarding system that supplies a constantly updating list of challenges that allow you further progression in any character. The money awarded each game feels fair and is enough for you to buy a high-end pack of cards every game or two. That being said, it'll still be a very long time until you can collect everything this game has to offer. The major shortcoming of Garden Warfare is the amount of venues available for the zombies and plants to have their skirmishes. After one free DLC pack, the total map count is 4 maps for the Gardens and Graveyards game type, with day and night versions of each one, and 6 different maps for the remaining modes. That being said though, each of the maps are very well designed with unique landmarks and decorative storefronts and signage littering the landscapes. The zombies seem to have a bit of an offensive advantage over the plants in the Gardens and Graveyards game mode, and most games will end with them pushing all the way back to the final point or capturing it as well. But this is understandable to keep the games lengthy and pace them along. In general, the factions and classes are well balanced, with some classes countering others, such as the engineer having an answer for the chopper's strengths. It's rare to be able to thoroughly enjoy everything a game like this has to offer, but I found myself switching classes frequently, if for no other reason than to see each character's personality and cosmetic items. Aiming your weapon is responsive and lacks the traditional aim assist found in most console games, and none of the controls feel out of sync. In addition, similar to Titanfall, there will be AI enemies mixed into the human opposition. However, this is handled much better than Titanfall, as their variety and strengths vary greatly, and most importantly, these enemies are deployed and chosen by the players themselves, and require precious consumable tokens to summon. The higher-end zombies and plants can also pose a pretty significant threat sometimes, requiring a group of players to dispose, or lest they become too much of a distraction for the defending team. These defensive and offensive abilities are a great addition to the game, with my only complaint being that points rewarded for killing or largely assisting in one of the tougher enemies not being equal to the amount of effort it takes to kill them. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare is a great game. While it doesn't include a traditional single player, this fact is made up for by its reduced pricing and abundance of content towards multiplayer. It brings a bright, humorous experience to a genre that tends to take itself too seriously, and implements a fantastic leveling and reward system that always keeps the dangling carrot in front of you close. There's currently a bit of shortage of levels and fatigue can set in, but with so many goals to constantly overcome and a slew of unique characters to do it with, it can be somewhat excused. Hopefully they'll continue to update the game, providing more zany action as the never-ending Necro-Green War continues. Sadly, although it's not necessarily saying much at this point, Plants vs. Zombies is one of the strongest semi-exclusive titles for next-gen consoles, if not the best.